Hello, everyone. This is Aaron Gudikunst from Elevate here again with your Monday morning mentor. So, this entire month, we've been looking at social media marketing, some of the best practices, some of the content, things to do, things to not do, just to kind of elevate your social media to just the next level to really make it work for you for both lead gen and for just getting your name out there, setting yourself up as an information and a community resource in whatever market you're in. And so this week, what I'm going to be doing is wrapping all that up by just looking at some quick best practices that you can implement right away on your social channels that will just kind of help you get into those good rhythms and then just continue to build on top of everything we've been talking about. So, what we just want to kind of go over first is just some higher level stuff that isn't going to apply necessarily directly onto your social channels, but it's good practices to implement as part of your overall social media marketing strategy. So, before we've talked about blogging. And one of the things I mentioned during those conversations was you want to blog a minimum of one time per week. Um, you want to be able to take that content and then also be able to cross promote it across all your social channels. You want to be able to break it up into smaller bits and pieces and use as posts in your social channels. And of course, you want to be able to include photos or videos if possible to increase the click rate. Those are just tips that will apply to all of your social channels in general. But what I like to go over now that we've kind of warmed you up with that is to talk about some of the specific social channels and how you can make the most of them. So the first one, the big daddy is Facebook. So what are some quick and easy tips and tricks that you can use on Facebook to just kind of get into that good rhythm of just a healthy social media marketing strategy? So the first one is try to aim for about 2 to 3 posts a week. The average user will log in about 6 to 10 times per day. The majority of users will do that. So trying to hit them when they're going to be available, and making sure that you are making yourself available to them on during peak times. So what are peak times for Facebook? So first off, the best day statistically to post on Facebook is Wednesday. And usually you want to do that between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. The worst day to do is on Sunday. People usually aren't on social media as much on the weekends, but your safest time is going to be anywhere between Tuesday and Thursday, and that range is from 8 a.m. to about 3 p.m. Now, why is that? Well, it's because, even with a lot of company policies and things like that, people are still, checking their phone and stuff while they're at work, and checking their Facebook apps. A lot of these are going to kind of fall into similar posting patterns too. So you'll kind of see that. One important thing to know, if you didn't already know this, this is really, really important, is you're not allowed to do business on personal accounts. It's one of Facebook's policies. So just make sure that whatever business oriented content you're posting is originating on your Facebook business page. From there, you can absolutely share it on your on your personal channels. But with when it comes to like business oriented content, soliciting things like that, it has to originate on your business page, and then you can of course share it wherever. And then, of course, you want to be able to optimize your things like listing posts by linking back to your lead capture website, the thing we've been talking about, throughout all of these. The through line is your lead capture site, where you have things like your full listing sheet, and your MLS or IDX search. Sorry, my tongue is a little tied today. The next channel I'm going to talk about is LinkedIn. Again, aim for about 2 to 3 posts a week. LinkedIn is a little bit different than Facebook, and it's very obvious when you actually go onto LinkedIn. But LinkedIn is more like your online resume. But what's cool about LinkedIn is that it's one of those things that pops up near the top of Google searches all the time whenever someone's looking specifically for you. It's also the number one agent to agent referral network just across all brands, all franchises in the real estate market. If you recently, moved from somewhere and you know someone who's moving back to that area, you can refer them to an agent in that area, for example. And you can do that through LinkedIn. The best times that you want to go ahead and, try to post on LinkedIn. Either Wednesday or Thursday. Statistically, those are the best days to do it. And again, sometime between the morning, usually about 8 or 9, and then anytime, to the afternoon, early afternoon, about 2 to 12 or 12 to 2, on those 2 days. Again, worst day to post on LinkedIn is Sunday. People do not want to be on their online resume on Sunday. And then again, a safe time to kind of post on those channels is anywhere between Tuesday and Friday. Again, you kind of have that 8 to 2 window when you're talking about your content there. Next one, this is another really big one, is Twitter. So again, you're going to be looking for about at least 2 to 3 posts a week. I personally would recommend more, especially on Twitter. You want to be able, because it's so small, it's so bite sized. You can just like pop things out really quick, just like easy comments and things like that. And also with Facebook, I mean, if I'm being honest, I would recommend posting on Facebook more than 2 to 3 times a week. We've covered so much in the past few weeks about all the different types of content that there's not a whole lot of excuse for not being able to just churn out really easy, engaging posts, like basically daily. Just make sure you're scheduling them in the right areas. So anyways, back to Twitter. So Twitter, along with Instagram, is probably has the biggest group of millennials on those channels. So keep that in mind. If you're someone who markets mostly to the millennial crowd, Twitter is going to be the place for you. Maybe not so, Facebook, yes, you'll still get a lot of engagement there, but definitely like Twitter and Instagram. It is more like an open forum. Twitter actually ties a lot into your SEO, and using things like hashtags is going to be something that makes life a lot easier in terms of helping interested users find relevant content that they're searching for. Statistically, the best days for posting on Twitter are going to be Wednesday and Friday, is basically anytime after 9 a.m. Is pretty much it. Because again, Twitter is pretty easy to consume. You can always like dive down a rabbit hole on Twitter whenever you are reading it, but there are people on there all the time. Again, worst day is Sunday. That's pretty much going to be every one of these is the worst day to post on social media. Statistically, Sunday. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It just means that don't expect as much engagement on those days. The safest time to do it is going to be Monday through Friday, pretty much weirdly anytime during the work hours. So about 8 to 4 p.m. So, stats don't really lie. We can all say that, no, we don't go on our social channels during the work hours, but statistically, it looks like a lot of us are. So anyways, those are still good times to continue to post content there. And then Instagram. So again, you're going to be hearing a lot of the same things out of me for this one too, especially because Instagram and Twitter, those audiences are very similar. Aiming for, regular posting. Instagram is very much a visual medium. You pretty much can't post something on Instagram unless it's a graphic of some kind or a video. So, this is where the quality of the image is probably going to be a bit more important than it would necessarily be on Twitter. But it's highly visual, right? With photos and videos, you want that to support the content of your post. Now, some things to keep in mind is that you can't put a link in the body of a Twitter, post. So there are ways that you can do a story that has a link in it, or you can share a post that goes back to a link tree or to a link library inside of Instagram that does have those. Instagram kind of figured out after a couple of years that, oh yeah, people really like links inside of their posts. And so they have some opportunities in there for you too, but just on the initial post itself, you won't be able to put a link in the body. So just something to keep in mind. This is something where it's going to be very, very easy to put in great content that can include day-to-day activities. Virtual tours, client testimonials are great on Instagram. Showcasing people and businesses. I have a lot of friends that are real estate professionals, and I see their posts all the time for virtual tours, video, like just holding their phone, walking through a house, sharing images of a listing. And basically the call to action in the post is to either go to the link library that they can put in their Instagram account, or to reach out to them. They put their contact information in there for someone to give them a call if they're interested in that listing. So there are always options there. Now with Instagram, this is going to be very, very similar to Twitter. Surprising, surprise. So again, Wednesday to Friday is kind of like your best times. 11 a.m. around noonish is really going to be the best time during those days to do it. Again, Sunday, don't worry about Sunday. And then the safest time is going to be, again, Monday through Friday, weirdly during standard work hours. So like 9 to 4. Those are going to be statistically kind of like your best times to post. And then lastly, the big one when it comes to video is YouTube. So YouTube just is synonymous with online videos. There are other platforms like Vimeo which you can take advantage of as well. But because YouTube is owned by Google and so is Chrome, it kind of works together really well for you. Just from an SEO standpoint, over 1 billion users and counting. I mean, it's a huge platform. Again, an excellent platform for listing virtual tours, creating a library of like educational vlogs or Q&As, tips and tricks videos, client testimonials, all that stuff. I mean, we've covered all this stuff in the past, guys. Go back and watch all the videos. There's anything that you can put on a blog, you can put in a video, and conversely. Sharing, and then sharing all of this, of course, to your social channels. There's just so much that's available, through all these different mediums. But here's the thing. Not every one of you are going to have the same audiences, right? You're not going to have the same target markets. You're not going to have the same people who are interested in every single one of these. So here's my next tip. My next tip is to focus on which channels your audience is actually present and engaged in. Like I mentioned before, if you are marketing to a millennial audience, or younger, Twitter, Instagram, if you're going even younger than millennials, because, Gen Z is kind of getting to that age now, you can start marketing on things like TikTok. There's a lot out there in terms of, the tips and tricks to do it. And it's one of those things where authenticity is highly, highly valued. And transparency is highly, highly valued, which is weird considering how a lot of those things are shot. But anyways, that's my little bit about that. YouTube is going to be kind of safe for almost every audience because everybody watches videos in some form or fashion on YouTube. And then once you kind of get, above, millennial age, you're getting into the realm of more Facebook, more, more of kind of like the by now, I can't believe I'm saying this, more old school traditional social media methods. It's wild. I mean, Facebook is, I think, less than 20 years old. And, it's already kind of, just with the pace of the internet and how things are going. I mean, it's already, almost like the granddaddy of social channels now. So, again, all that to say, just be careful, be cognizant of where your audience is at. That way you're not spending time on social channels. Oh, my pups found something. You're not spending so much time on social channels where your audience is not, right? You want to be able to focus all your efforts on where your audience actually is. So anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. I hope you guys, everybody in the States had a great Independence Day. I know I probably did, but anyways, there's a lot that can be learned. Again, there's going to be a link right down here where you can go to the social media marketing guide where it covers a lot of the content that we've talked about here. It has a full calendar, like a 4-month calendar of content that you can implement, and you can just like start using those ideas to kind of like boom, 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 like get into the good rhythm of posting content. And so anyways, I hope you'll take advantage of that. It's free. Just go in, download it, have fun, and just take everything that we've talked about in the past 4 weeks and really start rolling it into a really strong, cohesive social media marketing strategy. Next month, we're going to be coming out with a new theme, which I'm going to be introducing to you guys next week, and I can't wait for it. But until then, I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.